Good morning. Please welcome Law Enforcement Academy Class 2492. Good morning. My name is Troy Eger, and I've had the honor to lead this class as the Academy Director here at Blackhawk Technical College for the past 18 weeks. Even though this is the 9th class that I have had the pleasure to graduate and welcome into the profession of law enforcement, it never gets old to see these men and women dressed in their uniforms, many for the first time, so eager to go out into the community and make a difference. I apologize for my voice, but after spending all day Wednesday getting beat up by each of the students and screaming I'm not going to the hospital, my voice has finally given out on me. I'll try to make it quick so we can get the other speakers up here. As we begin this ceremony, I want to promise everybody that will be time for everybody to go to lunch. But I would like to welcome the family, friends, and agency representatives of each of these students to Blackhawk Technical College. It is important to know these students would not be here right now if it was not for your support. As I mentioned earlier, this is the 9th Law Enforcement Academy class that I've had the pleasure to graduate, and this class represents the largest class in recent memory, with 25 of the 183 new law enforcement officers that have entered the profession through these doors over the last 4.5 years. The only way we can accomplish this is with the help of our instructors and our role players, most of which have full-time jobs and sacrifice their days off and their benefit time to instruct in this academy. I mention our instructors at every graduation, and for good reason, because what they are teaching these students goes beyond book knowledge and understanding of legal concepts. Our instructors know what they're teaching these students could and most likely will save their lives one day. And the skills the students learn undoubtedly will allow them to save another person's life. It is because of that our instructors have so much dedication to these students. I would like to ask that any instructor in our academy that is in this room, please stand so we can acknowledge all the sacrifice and dedication you have given to these students to prepare them to begin their careers. You are what makes this what I believe the best law enforcement academy in the state. I know you're out there. Beyond the instructors that are in front of the class on a daily basis, there's so much work done behind the scenes that too often goes under-recognized and underappreciated. And that work this is the work of the administrative assistant, Tammy Rail. Tammy is truly the backbone of the administrative work done with the academies, and I honestly question where we would be without her passion and dedication to our program. Please help me in giving her our utmost appreciation as she stands in the back hiding. Now to class 2492. You are the 92nd class to graduate from Blackhawk Technical College Law Enforcement Academy, which dates back to April of 1966. You are entering our profession in a time like no other. As I begin, I want to say that I try to write a new speech for every graduating class, because each of them are different, and I think each class needs a different message. However, this being my 9th speech, sometimes I need a little help to get started. So this week, I asked my oldest son, Braden, who just turned 13, what I should say to the class. Now, I want to let you know I've used this trick before several years ago, and I was shocked at the advice my 3 kids gave at the time, because it was so good. So at the time, Braden, at the wise age of 9, said, "Trust in yourself. You can do good things in your life if you believe in yourself." I thought, man, if he was that smart at 9, he should really be able to help me out this time. So I took a shot. Didn't work out quite so well this time. When I asked Braden what I should say, he said with his cracking voice, I don't know them, so I can't give you anything to say. I replied, you don't have to know them, you just have to say something smart. So, as the moody teenager he is, he looked at me and said, tell them they were the worst class you've had, and they disappointed you all the time. What a difference a few years makes, eh? So I'm just going to reuse the quote from 9-year-old Braden. Trust in yourself. You can do good things in life if you believe in yourself. I'm really excited for those teenage years I have ahead of me. Anyway, going back to what Braden said this week, I will say every class, including this one, tells me at the end that they were my favorite class. And while I'll never admit my favorite class, I sure did have fun with this one. It's pretty easy to have fun when you have a pair of brothers in the same class, which was a first for me. They're from different agencies, and on the first day of class, I found out the older one didn't even tell the younger one he was coming to the same academy because he wanted to surprise his little brother. He was able to pull off the surprise because it was a last-minute favor that got him into an already full class just 2 weeks before it started, which, Chief, you still owe me for that one. When you see the Dix brothers up here in a few minutes, you will know why they were affectionately known as Big Dix and Little Dix. And as someone with an older brother, it was fun to mess with them. I know I wouldn't have been able to be next to my brother every day, 8+ hours a day for 18 weeks. In fact, most people wouldn't want to be that close to anyone for that long, which is why I always move the seating arrangements around after every phase. But to ensure Caleb and Kyle got along, I put their desks directly in the middle of the classroom, right next to each other. Then after the next phase, since I promised I would move everybody, I simply just flip-flopped their desks. They were super excited the next morning when they realized they had to sit next to each other for another 6 weeks. We also had a firefighter in our class. And if you know anything about the relationship between police and fire, you know we had jokes lined up for miles, and we used them every chance we had. Then there was the student that literally learned how to drive a car 2 years ago because he was that young. And we had to teach him how to drive a squad car at high speeds during pursuits. That was interesting. It is a good thing that his agency issues him his weapon and bullets because he literally can't buy them himself. I can go on about the butter bar second lieutenant that we have in class that us prior enlisted veterans hassled as much as we could, or the other 15 daily jokes that we had going on. But I think the important thing to know is how well this class got along. Minus the brothers, that I had to constantly tell the instructors it was okay if they yelled at each other because they were brothers, as they were just yelling at each other outside there, trying to figure out who lines up first. The diverse backgrounds of these students in this class made it such a fun and interesting dynamic that I know can only benefit each of them as they move on to the next phase of their adventure. Now that I've introduced the class a little bit, I want to give them some advice. I want to start with how much this class kept talking to me about how much they appreciated the culture of the academy, the fact that it was not paramilitary, but focused on a learning environment. They also talked to me about being present with them as part of their daily experience and available when they needed something, and that me and the instructors, we didn't hold back or pull punches. We were very direct with them, and we told them the truth. I mention this because I think that is where we are in society. With social media, conventional media, and simply everybody wanting to put filter on things, I think it is vital that we be real. So I just want to drop some reality right now. To the students, your job is not easy. Given that you have experienced more than 90 hours of scenario training, I know you are aware there are difficult decisions you're going to have to make. But making those decisions in real life, when you actually have to take someone to jail, or when you are investigating a traffic accident that has real victims, it is different. Those are the things that are difficult that you know of. The things you don't know about are even harder. There is a time you are going to have to be the one to tell somebody that they have lost a loved one. You are going to have to be the person that goes home to your kids after investigating a child abuse. And you're going to have the one that gets their decision second guessed by everybody when you had a split second to make it and they have days, weeks, and months to critique it. To the agency leaders that are all in the back, your job is to make these students' jobs easier. That is done by realizing times change and the younger generation never adapts to the older generation. If that was the case, we'd all be still using revolvers and rotary phones. You must adapt to those coming into the profession now and not continue with how things have always been done. Most of the new officers grew up in a different world than we did, and they are policing in a different world than we did. So the rules of how to deal with these new officers have to adapt. I encourage you to create an employee-focused culture that puts the employees first. The mental health of everyone in your agency should be your number one priority. Law enforcement is facing challenges that we have never faced before, and if we don't take care of those on the front line, we won't have anybody on the front line anymore. Many of the best companies in the world live by the adage, take care of your employees and they will take care of the customers. Take care of your officers and they will take care of the community. To the families, your job is to support these new law enforcement officers. It must be said that none of the students would be in the room today without already having your support, so thank you. But their need for support certainly doesn't stop here. In fact, it will be needed much more going forward. First, the next several months will be extremely stressful and important to them as they get into a squad car and continue to learn how to do their jobs. Field training is not easy. After that, support is a constant need in their life. They are going to have hard days where they need someone to talk to. I encourage you to be there for them, and I encourage them to reach out to you. My wife has always been my support. She was with me when I went to Iraq and has been there my entire law enforcement career. She is amazing at knowing when I need her to listen and give me feedback, and when I just need to talk and her to listen. Having that rock will be the key to these students' success. I know that sounds like a lot of work, some of which is not pleasant. But what I will say is if you put in the work, there's nothing more satisfying than doing this job right. When you help people and they express their appreciation, there's no better reward. And I will tell you the negativity that you see out there right now is the loud few. The majority of our communities and those in them truly appreciate what you do. There are few jobs that you can leave for the day and know you made a difference in someone's life. So while this job is not easy, I can tell you it is worth it. I've said this to you before, but I will say it again. If you do the right thing for the right reason, there may be a few bumps in the road, but I promise you in the long run, everything will work out. You just have to trust in yourself and the process. I will end with this quote from the great Ted Lasso. Doing the right thing is never the wrong thing. Next, I would like to invite one of the members of the class to come and address the group. I don't believe in selecting one student at the beginning of the class to be the class president, because then other students don't get to work on their leadership skills. So I tell the class early on, I want them all to be informal leaders. Then throughout the 18 weeks, it is always great to see the number of students that step into an informal leadership role, and when you allow it to happen naturally, the students feel more comfortable because it isn't forced, and they get to pick when it is appropriate for them to be a leader. At the end of the class, I usually poll not only the students, but the lead instructors to identify the student that took on an informal leadership role within the class. This class, I did not have to poll the instructors, because after the survey went out to the class, it was very clear who they all thought was the leader of the class. This next speaker led by example the entire 18 weeks. He was not a loud leader. He simply led by example and showed he was going to be there for any of his classmates. He was also in control of the music playlist during our workouts. Anytime a bad song came on and I said something to him, he would blame the class for picking the playlist. But by the end, he showed his leadership and just decided to skip the songs he knew he was going to get grief for. I would like to invite Deputy Benjamin Consato of the Greene County Sheriff's Office to address the class.
All right, where are my people? Can you hear me? All right. Thank you all for coming to a very important moment in our class's lives. My name is Benjamin Casado. I work for the Greene County Sheriff's Office. First, I would like to thank my wife, sitting right over there, for the love and support she has showed me these past 5 months so I could actually succeed in this journey and complete academy. I would like to thank my department for giving me the opportunity to represent them in our community and in this academy as well. And I would also like to thank my classmates for giving me the honor and the privilege of being their class leader. This journey started off with 25 strangers. This part of our journey is ending with 25 classmates, colleagues, friends, and 25 law enforcement officers. I'd like to thank the class for pushing each other and myself, both mentally and physically, to be better than the day we were before. I thank each and every one of you for giving up, or never giving up, and always staying focused. Being such a talented group of people and being humble about it is an amazing sight, so thank you. Whether they have the practical life experience or none, each person kept their ego in check. I am humbled and proud to have gone through this experience with such an exceptional group of people. I may have been voted class leader, but the 24 of my classmates are just as much leaders as I am. They all lead by example, and no matter the odds, they keep pushing forward to get better every single day. Each individual classmate has had their experience during academy, and it is not mine to share. But I think I speak for all of us when I say thank you to our agencies for this opportunity. Thank you to our friends and family and loved ones for your support during this process. It's been a really long time, so thank all of you for helping us out. Hang on, I lost my place here. There we go. And thank you to the instructors for making us ready for career in law enforcement. I hope we all have extraordinary careers. I hope all of us have the drive to make ourselves better every single day. And I want us all to stay safe. One day we will be sitting in the crowd as seasoned law enforcement officers at a graduation welcoming in the new generation. I hope we all continue to get better because we will be their example, be their mentors, and be their leaders. At the start, 2492 was just a number. Today, 2492 is where our career begins. Thank you.
So every class, we ask the students to select an instructor who they believe has displayed not only excellent knowledge base, but also the ability to transfer that knowledge to the students. The winner of this award for this class is a retired lieutenant from the City of Beloit Police Department and one of the longest tenured academy instructors here. To be honest, I used to have a really fancy introduction for him, but considering we have lost count how many times he has been selected for this award, I figure you all know him enough and I can just invite him up here. Class of 2492 would like to present the Instructor of Excellence Award to Mr. Rich Lefebvre.
I didn't even say anything yet. Welcome. Good morning. First of all, I just want to thank the class for this honor. I really appreciate it. There are a lot of instructors here in the academy, a lot of instructors that aren't here that are just as deserving of the award. I honestly think that I get it just because I get to teach the fun stuff. I get to teach the shooting and driving, and it's pretty easy to teach that. Radar and laser got a little hard, I know. We learned that the class doesn't math good. They don't math good at all, so. But thank you. Black Hawk Technical College is a learning institution, and we are groups of instructors and students, and that's why we're here. So being the instructor of excellence, I really appreciate that, but like I say, we're instructors. So what have we learned? We learned like the topics like, again, firearms, radar, laser, constitutional law, report writing. Some of it's exciting, some of it's less exciting. So what else have we learned? We learned that sneaking up on your coworkers in a low light scenario may have painful consequences, and that airsoft really hurts no matter if the light's on or not. Some of you learned that. We learned to lock your squad car when you chase the bad guy into a wooded area. Why did we learn it? And then this bad guy will do what? Steal your police car. Yep. We learned that the tactical gallop isn't a thing. Didn't we learn that? It worked. It worked. Just because nothing bad happened is why it worked. What else did we learn? We learned that regardless of the age of our students, they're all old enough that they didn't need a booster seat, although it was a little touch and go for one of you. I think Troy already mentioned the student there. So we learned how many cones had to sacrifice their lives while being dragged around underneath a police car. We learned that if you keep driving, Thor himself can't get the cone out from underneath the wheel well of the car because he dragged half of its life around the course. But we also learned that 25 students can successfully pass all the academy. We learned that they tried hard throughout the academy. They worked through pain, they worked through difficult days, they worked through laughter. We even had some tears, and yet 25 students were all successful. And that is by sure an accomplishment. Winarski and I were talking prior to this that I think we both said to you guys, we need to lose one because 25 doesn't work. 24 is a nice even number, but you guys went through it all. So that's what we learned. Now, the families and friends that are here, it's your time to start learning. You guys will learn that being families and friends of a law enforcement officer, there's a different perspective that you'll have after being with family and friends for a while that's law enforcement. I just because it's got to be a record number. Can all the current or former law enforcement people, can you all stand up for a second? And you guys turn around because there's a ton of them back there. Former and current law enforcement. Thank you. You guys were supposed to stand up. That's you now. I don't know if you... Just saying. Okay. You sure? Okay. Oh, certificates. That's true. The certificates haven't been handed out. So, in our teaching the family and members and family and friends rather that are here, I just want to give a perspective as you'll get for your law enforcement students. So Mother's Day was Sunday, and I'm sure driving to Mother's Day to meet with your family kind of went like it's your spouse's family that we're going to, not your family, so they're a little weird. That starts out the conversation in the car. You're driving there thinking like, is Uncle Jesse gonna be drinking? Why did he name both of his boys Chris, one with a C, one with a K? Aunt Claire, is her cat that she brings everywhere, is that still alive? That's the conversation on the way to Mother's Day. All normal things. Is Aunt Betty gonna make the donuts that she makes? All those things that's going on. Parking's always difficult, you get there. It's always awkward. Yes, Aunt Claire's cat, still alive. She brought it for some reason. That's your perspective going to this. Dinner seems to go okay, gets a little later into the evening. Maybe the drinking has kind of started later into the evening. All of a sudden, you're just wondering how Aunt Claire's cat's still alive, and you notice Chris is fighting with Chris, the brother. One with a C, one with a K. There's some shoving going on. Uncle Jesse's still passed out. And somebody calls who? Somebody calls law enforcement because Chris is pushing Chris. And which one is Chris, I don't really know. I've never been able to tell them apart. Now think of the call from their perspective. They're dispatched to a family fight. Don't know who called. The dispatcher can only hear screaming, yelling on the phone, trying to get some things out. Dispatcher asks normal dispatcher questions. Are there any weapons involved? They're trying to figure out if Uncle Jesse brought his Derringer that they know he carries around with him all the time. Nobody knows if it fires or not, but he showed family at inappropriate times later in the past. So law enforcement officers going, okay, thinking of their tactics, right? Where do I park? I don't want to park in front of the house. Let's see, it's an odd number, so odd numbers on the even or the right side of the road, the east side of the road. They walk into what? Chaos. Why did you are here? Why are you here? Who called? Did somebody call? Right? They're reading the notes on the way. Apparently the fight is between Chris and Chris. Is that a typo? Are there really two people named Chris? They walk in. Right away there's mayhem. People are pushing each other. Is that a cat? Why does it only have 3 legs? Mayhem. So they're trying to remember their tactics. What happens now when law enforcement starts pushing on Chris and Chris? Family's upset. You don't want to do that things. These are the stories that you're going to hear. These are what is from their perspective. They have to learn everybody's name now. They have to find out who's involved. Dispatch told them on the way that Uncle Jesse might what? Have that Derringer that he carries, right? So they got to think about that. It's a physical altercation. Do I go hands-on? Do I not go hands-on? Somebody decides to go for a taser, brandishes the taser, powers it up, yells taser. The cat loves following the laser. All of a sudden, it's come alive. The cat jumps on Uncle Jesse. You're sitting there going, how did that cat jump with only 3 legs? I don't even know how it got up there, right? Wakes up Uncle Jesse. He stands up, reaches in the bibs. Is it customary to wear a shirt underneath the bibs? I don't know. But this is the perspective that they have now on that. At the end of the day, nobody wants Chris arrested. They want the law enforcement officers to do what? Solve 23 years of problems in a half an hour, end it with handshakes all around, everybody goes home and not complain on social media how horrible they did. That's your job to learn, to understand that the perspective of life is now different for these 25 individuals and all of the people in back, who I guarantee each one of them is thinking of a call similar to what I just talked about that they went to. That's what they have to go on from now on out. They look at life differently. So I guess as an instructor, I hope everybody here realizes that that's their world now. Things are a different perspective for them. So I'm very proud of all 25 of you. You guys all did an amazing job. And through some times that are hard and sometimes that are not hard, and instructors sometimes being frustrated and yelling, and good times, and there were a few tears over the time. And you guys all worked really hard, and for that I'm very proud of you. So like I say, for class, great job. It only gets harder from here. You still have field training, which you'll think you get the handcuffs on the guy, now what? I'm waiting for somebody to say end scenario. No, there's no. I gotta take him to the jail. Where is that? I don't know. So nobody's gonna be thinking that, but congratulations, this will continue your learning, and just all think of it, Father's Day is right around the corner. So thank you very much.
Thank you. I will just say, I think everybody in the back, when they saw the program, looked at Rich and Jeff, and it was like, Troy must be crazy putting those two on the stage together. So our last speaker, who was also picked by the students as someone they wanted to hear from, this speaker is a detective with the City of Janesville Police Department and our lead defense and arrest tactics instructor, and has been for many years. In fact, he taught me when I went through this academy, which I only say to remind him he's older than I am. When I called to let him know that the students want him to speak at graduation, he told me the reason he only teaches one topic is because he tries to get in and get out without the students really noticing him. So that way he doesn't get invited to do things like this. Of course, when the students told me that they wanted him to speak, they also mentioned it was simply payback, because he's the one that sprays them with pepper spray and tases them. So they wanted him to be just a little uncomfortable for a little bit as well. The class of 2492 would like to invite Detective Jeff Winarski to address the class.
Got a lot, it's got a rough road ahead of me for all that stuff that Rich just said. Thank you all for being here. My name is Jeff Winarski. I'm a detective for Janesville Police Department. I've been in law enforcement for 20 years, and I've been at Blackhawk here for around 18. I know you look at me and think that somebody as young as me, how can they possibly be here for that long? So I had the opportunity to meet this class early in their second phase. I just teach defensive tactics. For me, it's the most fun aspect. It's definitely the most fun aspect for me. Like Troy said, I get to pepper spray them, so I get to spray them with OC spray, and I get to tase them. It's actually really surprising that they invited me up here or to ever wanted to see me again. Using OC and taser not only gets them more used to their tools and some of the things they might experience, but it also teaches them what they're made of. They lose their eyesight briefly. Their eyes are burning, their lungs are irritated, and they're coughing, and they're in some intense pain. Right? All right. What they don't lose is their ability to fight through and survive. They learn a lot about themselves, and they learn a lot about the class. When they come through the class, they're a lot closer because they went through this terrible ordeal together. They have more respect for themselves and what they're capable of enduring. So ultimately, I just want to tell all of you, you're welcome. A career in law enforcement is a balance of a lot of different things. You must be physically fit. You'll be asked to not only protect yourselves, but to protect innocence in society. You need to be mentally fit. Bad guys and bad girls are always going to try to get over on you. You're going to be asked to think for people sometimes that aren't capable of thinking for themselves. You must be emotionally fit. You can't go out there and act like a robot. We see people on their worst day, and we must show them some empathy because some of them may have never had it. They've never had someone show that they care. Many of a police officer's daily calls for service can simply be solved by communication. Having the ability to talk to somebody, giving them the opportunity to speak, and get some closure in their life. Look out into the crowd and find the people that came here to support you. They may be family, they may be friends, they may be both. Wherever they fall in your lives, make sure to thank them for being here for you. And always keep them close in your lives. As I'm wrapping up, I have a bit of a hodgepodge of quotes from different authors. I liked parts of what everybody said, so I kind of put them all together. The heroic action of a law enforcement officer is the only force standing between us and total anarchy. We ask our law enforcement officers to be guardians in our community. It's what allows us to sleep safely in our beds because we have some rough men and rough women to stand ready at night to protect us. It takes an incredibly special person willing to put his or her life on the line for the community. So all of you, thank you. Congratulations to all of you for completing your law enforcement academy. This is one small step in your law enforcement career. Never stop learning. Don't forget who you are and where you came from. Don't forget about your morals and your ethics. Surround yourself with good in this world and do good things for people. You'll never be rich as a police officer, but you'll be able to sleep at night knowing that you went out there and made a difference. So thank you.
All right, the last thing we need to do is make a few things official, so we have a few awards to present. Our first award is the award for academic achievement. This award is given to the student that had the highest average for each of the 3 phase tests. This class as a whole had an average of 90% over all 3 tests. Our award winner had more than a 96% average over all 3 tests, which goes to show the work that he put in. With that, I would like to present the Academic Excellence Award to Deputy Benjamin Casado of the Greene County Sheriff's Office. Next, I would like to present the award for outstanding physical fitness. Each student must pass a physical readiness test to get into the academy, and they have to pass a tougher, more stringent physical readiness test in order to graduate. This award not only takes those exit test results into account, but also looks at the student that showed the most effort in our 32 hours of physical fitness throughout these past 18 weeks. I would like to present the Physical Fitness Award to Officer Ian Grice of the City of Beloit Police Department. Our next award is named after a fellow graduate of the Blackhawk Technical College Law Enforcement Academy, Officer Ryan Copeland, of Class 1363. Officer Copeland was tragically killed in an on-duty traffic crash in 2015. Officer Copeland was a member of the McFarland Police Department, a K-9 officer, and a veteran of the United States Army. I never met Officer Copeland, but I know many people that knew him. The stories I've heard about him as a man and a law enforcement officer show me what kind of human being he was, which makes this award very special to this academy. I would like to present the Officer Ryan Copeland Marksmanship Award to Officer Nolan Bakken of the City of Edgerton Police Department. Our last award is named after one of the former Law Enforcement Academy directors, the late Mr. Terry Fell. Mr. Fell served as both the Chief Deputy of the Rock County Sheriff's Office and the Chief of the Beloit City Beloit Police Department. After retiring from over 25 years of law enforcement service, Mr. Fell served as the Law Enforcement Academy Director here at BTC for 10 years. Mr. Fell also served on the Beloit City Council and on the Rock County Board of Directors for several terms. Mr. Fell's legacy is that of leadership, honor, and sense of duty. I am proud to present the Terry Fell Leadership Award to Deputy Benjamin Gonzado of the Greene County Sheriff's Office. All right, let's pass out those certificates and get to lunch.
Hi, everyone. It is my honor and pleasure to read the names of these lovely graduates, and then they will come up and get their certificates. It has also been my pleasure to attend Taser Day and watch all of them. Yeah, anyway, okay. So, again, please come up this way, get this, wait for the picture, and then go on the other side. Officer Nolan Bakken, Edgerton Police Department. Officer Devin Bebar, Janesville Police Department. Deputy Kenton Basher, Rock County Sheriff's Office. Deputy Walker Bound, Rock County Sheriff's Office. Deputy Benjamin Casado, Greene County Sheriff's Office. Officer Paola Delgado, Evansville Police Department. Officer Caleb Dix, Janesville Police Department. Officer Kyle Dix, Mount Horeb Police Department. Officer Ross Fitzgerald, Janesville Police Department. Officer Braden Fallbreck, Mount Horeb Police Department. Deputy Ty Freyer, Rock County Sheriff's Office. Officer Ian Grice, Beloit Police Department. Officer Avery Hannell, Janesville Police Department. Officer Andrew Hegley, Janesville Police Department. Deputy Benjamin Jacobs, Rock County Sheriff's Office. Officer Gavin Lerma, Town of Beloit Police Department. Deputy Brady Molander, Rock County Sheriff's Office. Officer Cody Offord, Oregon Police Department. Officer Cameron Reinders, Jefferson Police Department. Officer William Sam, Monroe Police Department. Officer Rebecca Serbicki, Janesville Police Department. Officer Andrea Terry, Albany Police Department. Officer Derek Weum, Stoughton Police Department. Deputy Philip Connor Young, Rock County Sheriff's Office. Officer Chase Ziegelbauer, Janesville Police Department.
I want to thank each of you for being here with these students as they celebrate this great achievement to begin their careers. I want you to remember that what they do is great work, but it also takes great sacrifice by them and by each of you. Please remember to communicate with each other and know the difference you as a group make in our communities. Please feel free to stay, meet each other, and enjoy some light refreshments. To Class 2492, as always, make good choices, and we'll see you out there.